So, sometimes when you make videos and you kind of go to YouTube and you pull the trigger on that video, which is to say, okay, it is now public, you kind of think this one's going to be interesting. This is going to be a fun video to watch to see how the analytics shape up, because this might piss off some people. And it's kind of a fun experience if you can remove yourself from it and you can kind of, judge it from a genuine place. It's kind of a fun and interesting thing to watch. And certainly the last video was something that I was paying attention to. So I was like, this is going to shake some people up. This is going to throw a few people off. And I think that that's a good thing. And, there's always going to be people who kind of go like, oh, Star Citizen's the best. Elite Dangerous sucks. And there's going to be people who are like, Elite Dangerous is the best and Star Citizen sucks. And honestly, I don't view it that way. I don't look at it that way. And I know that when you make a video like that, you've got people waiting there going like, okay, so which one is he going to say is shit and which one is he going to say is good? Oh, it looks like he's going after Star Citizen. No. Looks like he said some stuff about Elite that I don't quite like, or blah, 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 blah. And they're wondering, what side of the fence do you fall on? And the truth is that I think that Elite Dangerous succeeding, even though it's not my game, Elite Dangerous succeeding is the best thing that I could ever hope for. And I hope that it continues to succeed. And I hope Odyssey is a huge hit for them. And I hope that it functions greatly. I hope that it's fantastic. And it's not because I'm going to switch. Next week, this is an Elite Dangerous channel and blah, blah, blah. No. It's because if Elite Dangerous is succeeding, then that's very real, tangible pressure on Star Citizen to succeed. When you think about it like this. Like if someone were to, comment on, what on a project that you're working on, say, well, I don't like the way you did this, or I don't like the way you did that, or I think you should be doing it a little bit faster. You might say, well, that's your opinion, man. And to a certain degree, it's true. But if you're in competition with someone and they're just upping the game and they're just putting that pressure on you, that can be a good thing. That can, light a fire under your ass and get you moving, especially when you become complacent. And when I say complacent, I'm not looking at CIG in general. And I'm saying, I'm just painting them all with the complacent brush, because I don't see that. And that's something that I've always said in a lot of my videos. It's like when you see people at CIG working, you don't see people with their feet up on the desk and their keyboard in their lap and they're just like, whatever. I'm done when I'm done. It's cool. You don't see that. You see a lot of people grinding and doing a lot of work to try and get things together and to try to get this whole big thing to function together. And I mean, Star Citizen really is, in a lot of ways, like uncharted territory. And not just in terms of like graphical complexity or, the way we do the fog effects or something like that. Building a world like this with server meshing and persistence and all these things, that does not exist. I mean, that does not exist at this level of fidelity, I think would be the more appropriate way to say that. That's a crazy thing to attempt, and to attempt it at this level of graphical fidelity with this many concurrent players, or as many as you hope to achieve, which is kind of like a can of worms on its own. But to try and do something at this level is unprecedented. But having something out there that is your clear competition, that kind of removes the excuse of like, well, that's just your opinion, man, because now you have somebody that you're competing against, whether you like it or not. And, we can say that, they're kind of different games. And in certain respects, they are different games, but in certain respects, they are similar. And so they are both kind of competing for that audience. And having someone out there like that, that's no longer just an opinion that you can just say, oh, well, that's just your opinion. That's a very real threat to your income. That's a very real, point of comparison that someone can turn to and say, yeah, but they did it. Yeah, but they've got it finished. They've got more planets. They've got this. They've got that. And in the past, you could say, well, we got this and we got the other thing, and we're going to have that thing too. But having Elite Dangerous continue to succeed is only a good thing for Star Citizen. It's not about, one versus the other. It's where Elite Dangerous is succeeding, that puts more and more pressure on CIG to succeed. And maybe, one of the issues for CIG is the fact that it's not that they can't compete, it's just that they're not competing efficiently. Maybe certain decisions aren't really benefiting the project and are more, effort is being spent on a little bit more of the fluffy things rather than the real, tangible, durable things that make a game a game. You know what I mean? You need that competition. You need that very real thing creeping in on you. Sometimes you need those cold, icy fingers gripping your heart, putting the fear in you. You need that kind of stuff to kind of spurn you on, to make you stop going, okay, I want everything, and you start categorizing the things that you need. I often relate it like this when people are, saying, this is a project, we have these objectives, and I'll always say, what are your must-haves, what are your would-be nices, and what are your if dreams come true. Give me your things in this order so I know what to concentrate on, what has to happen, what would be great if it happened along with it, and you know what? Shoot for the stars. What if dreams came true? What else? That's how I kind of compartmentalize things in life. And maybe to a certain degree, that's what Star Citizen needs right now. Maybe that's, it's like, okay, that stuff's great, and that's stuff that we can do down the road, but what are our must-haves right now? What do we need to show that we're serious, that we're competing, that we are going for the brass ring? So many times when I see these discussions, you see players who are like, oh, I play a little Elite and I play a little Star Citizen or something like that, but then you get these people who are just like, Elite sucks and I hope it burns down to the ground, and it's just like, no. Those people aren't your enemies. Those people are your best friends, because they keep, that audience puts the fear in the developers of your game. For years and years and years, we've been watching the decline of World of Warcraft. For years, this has been going on. And, it was always like these kind of blasé, well, you can't please everyone. And, well, if we listen to everything the player said, blah, blah, blah. And that was all the response that we ever got from Blizzard for years and years and years, as the game just slowly declined. Hit a little bit of a comeback in Legion, and then just tanked with BFA. And it wasn't until that, thanks phone, it wasn't until that happened, until that very real moment of fear happened, that you actually saw something of a turnaround. And you actually saw like, oh, you know what? All these things that we used to absolutely say no to, now we're saying yes to all these other things. And now we're reevaluating our entire position on anything from your character being able to fly in an expansion to what you can and can't transmog, what a good dungeon group is, how loot works, all these things. Sorry, I had to pause and cough there, but all these things that we're never touching that, and now it's like, oh, maybe they're right. Sometimes you need these moments of shock and terror. Sometimes you need these moments of fear, these very real threats on the horizon, to kind of, get you to kind of get up, get moving, put a little pepper on it, get going, stop just kind of going like, well, this is kind of the plan and this is kind of how we're going about things. And, we're getting there, but, we're running into some difficulties. Sometimes you need that shock to kind of say, okay, what is it? What are the important things? What are the core things that we really need to kind of show what we can do, or to show that we are a viable competitor? We're no longer just a project. We're something that is going to be a very real thing. What do we absolutely need to have, and what can we do? What are the important things, rather than, we can do all this other stuff, the fluff, we can take care of that later. But right now, what are the core most important things? And maybe that's what Star Citizen needs right now.
Thank you for watching. So if you want to keep up with the latest and greatest in Star Citizen and Squadron 42's development, please follow us on our social media channels. See you soon.